Sometimes the deepest scars don't come from strangers. They come from the people we once called family. This is the story of a young girl, a grieving mother, and a betrayal that shook their world after a father's untimely death. A story not just about pain, but about strength, survival, and the fight for justice. This is Whispers of Reddit. My family betrayed us after my father's death. I'm a 21-year-old woman, and this is the story of how my own family turned against us after my father's death and how we're still fighting to reclaim what was taken from us. It began in 2012. I was just 8 years old and my younger brother was 5 when my father passed away under suspicious circumstances. He wasn't a perfect man, he had an extramarital affair, but the manner of his death raised questions that haunt us to this day. We always suspected foul play, possibly involving his mistress or even someone from his own family. My father had a strained relationship with his father, my grandfather, who constantly belittled him and openly supported my uncle over him. My dad had even expressed his desire to live separately to protect our family from the constant fights. During the funeral, I still remember the look on my grandfather's face, smiling, laughing, completely untouched by grief. Even as a child, I knew something was terribly wrong. But the real betrayal came afterward. While we were grieving and vulnerable, my grandfather, grandmother, uncle, and aunt emotionally manipulated my mother into signing away the businesses and LIC insurance money that were in my father's name. Through deception and forged documents, they transferred everything to themselves, the wealth, the assets, the security my father had built for us. And once they got what they wanted, they threw us out like we meant nothing. As if that wasn't enough, they pressured my mom to remarry, hoping to silence her and shift attention from the fraud. In that new home, we faced mental abuse, indifference, and isolation. Life became a daily struggle for survival. In 2018, after years of suffering, my mother filed a fraud case against my grandfather. We won the case, but what should have been a turning point became another exhausting battle. The execution of the judgment dragged on. My grandfather and his lawyer frequently skipped hearings, delaying the case intentionally. And when a verdict neared, their lawyer would suddenly appear with new objections to stall everything again. Worse still, we discovered that some of the lawyers we hired had been bribed by my grandfather to sabotage our case. My mom had to replace them one after another, all while holding our broken family together. All the while, my grandfather's side of the family flaunted their wealth vacationing in places like Singapore without shame or accountability. They've never faced the consequences of what they did to us. But through it all, my mom has remained unbreakable. She has endured deception, loneliness, and relentless pressure. She fought back with nothing but her will to protect us. And even when it seemed hopeless, she never stopped believing in justice. Now, over a decade later, the pain still lingers. But we're stronger than we were. We've survived manipulation, abandonment, legal hell, and emotional scars. What they took from us, money, property, a father, can never outweigh what they couldn't take, our spirit, our bond, and our integrity. This is no longer just a fight for justice, it's our way of reclaiming dignity. And we'll keep going, not for revenge, but for peace. Because sometimes, survival itself is the greatest victory. That's the end of the story, hope you like it. Family is supposed to protect you, guide you. But for some, family becomes the very reason they had to grow up too soon. If you've ever felt betrayed by those closest to you, know this, you're not alone. Strength isn't always loud. Sometimes, it's found in the quiet moments of survival. Thank you for listening to this story. If it touched you, consider liking, subscribing, and sharing it with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, stay strong, and keep listening to the Whispers of Reddit.